Hey everybody, Sean here, Boosted Miata, and this is a brand new Atoto S8 Premium 10-inch doubled-in Android in-car entertainment system. Whew, that's a mouthful. It's brand new from Atoto. It came out the end of 2020. I got it here now, and we're going to do a quick unboxing and maybe an installation. We'll see. So come on, let's do this. So interesting story, true story. I'd seen this brand new Atoto on Amazon maybe in November, and I'd put it in my shopping cart thinking, okay, you know, I should get this and I'll do a review on it. But for whatever reason, I never bought it, and I put it in my wish list hoping that maybe the Mrs. Boosted Miata would see it and get it for me for Christmas. But that just didn't happen. And a couple weeks ago, I get this email out of the blue from Atoto, and they're saying, hey, would you be interested in reviewing our S8 Premium head unit? And I said, sure, why not? I guess they had seen my previous review of their other model, and they wanted me to check this one out. And I said, yeah, I'll check it out. So full disclosure, they sent it to me for free, but they have no influence on this video. They are not telling me what to say. They've just asked me to check it out and post a video, and I said, sure, I'll do that. So full disclosure there. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and see what's up. Alrighty. Oh, I like it so far. It looks pretty cool. Interesting. I like this. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just put that aside for now. Let's check out what is in the box. So it looks like we've got the USB cables here. It's the double USB. One's a phone link, so one would be for the phone only, and the other one is an external storage, so that would be, I guess, USB stick or SSD drive. This is the harness. Hopefully this harness is the same as the one that's on the A6, because that's what's in my Volvo, and that's where this one is going to go. This head unit is going to end up in my Volvo, not the Boosted Miata. This is the GPS antenna. So far everything looks the same as my previous unit. This is their Wi-Fi antenna, which these antennas are nice because, for one thing, they're really long, and they have a long braided insulated cable, which means you can move them around in your vehicle and optimize the location. Many of the new head units just come with a tiny one that screws on the back, but this you can put anywhere, which is nice to improve the Wi-Fi reception. New microphone, nice. This appears to be a front camera in, and we've got some hardware here. This is some screws and some mounting plates to help mount it correctly. The main event, and that is this head unit. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is pull this material off. I think I'm going to leave the cover on the screen for now, but I'll take this off the back. All right, so taking a look at the back here, we've got, that would be the Wi-Fi connection. There's your antenna in. There's where the two USBs connect. That's your video. That would be the front camera connection. And we got a sub. We've got a rear camera in. We've got a regular video in. We've got right, left, right, rear, front, left, front, rear. Then we've got a left in and a right in for phono. Then it's a 15 amp fuse here. And that's, of course, the socket for the harness. And that's the GPS cable. And then we've got a mic input and then IR, infrared. I believe that is for the steering wheel control. Fantastic. All right, over here on the side, nothing on that side. But on this side, we have some more inputs. What we have here is auxiliary in for like your iPod. We've got a USB, and then we got the SD card. And the SD card slot, of course, for If you want to do maps, offline maps, of course, I'm going to be using it for offline music. That's going to hold my FLAC files so I can have some high quality music on this thing. So that's great. On top, it's got all the wires and everything noted and laid out there. So that's nice. And of course, this is the connection. So it looks like this would have to, obviously this would have to be sticking out. This can't be sunken in the dash. So this would have to be sticking out. So this much will be out. So, you know, you're going to be out that's a good 2 inches at least. So that protrudes out quite a bit, I think. And that doesn't look to be adjustable. Looks like that's pretty fixed. Also, the rotation is fixed as well. And it doesn't appear to be there's no tilt. You have to fix it, it looks like. And it doesn't look like there's any swivel. Like it doesn't swivel this way, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and hook up my harness and hook up my 12-volt power supply, and we'll get this thing booted up, see how it does. I've got it hooked up to the power supply, so we're going to go ahead and flip it on. All right, well, I counted almost about a 30-second boot up there on this thing. That's not bad. That's a cold boot, not bad at all. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do a warm boot. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to disconnect it from the accessory wire that I have plugged in here. We'll do a disconnect. It's been off for a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the accessory wire and see what a warm boot does here. And that's pretty much instantaneous. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive here into all the apps that are available on this head unit or even the settings. If you want to see that, check out my review for the A6 Pro, where I do a real deep dive on all the apps and I go into every setting that you can change. Check it out, the link's down below. One of my favorite things on this Atoto are the real buttons on the bottom of the screen. These are so nice. They're very clickable. I really like them. It's just so much easier to use a real button than trying to press something on a screen that you really can't feel, and you have to look at it while you're driving to make sure you're pressing the right thing. It's just so much easier to use real buttons. Now, it's hard to see with the lights on, but these buttons are illuminated and they use adjustable RGB LEDs. We can change that by simply going into the settings here. And I'll go ahead and turn off the lights so we can see the panel better. And it's just a matter of using the presets to select the color you want, or you can go into the color wheel and select the custom color. The S8 Premium model does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wired only. All you have to do is plug it into the correct USB port and it will launch an app called Z-Link. And there you go. Apple CarPlay came right up. Seems to work great and it looks good. And if you're into Apple CarPlay, there you go. In the Volvo now, getting ready to do the install. But first, of course, I got to pull the existing Atoto out. Every installation is going to be different for different vehicles, obviously. Generally, you're going to need one of these. This is a panel tool to help remove panels. you're going to need some kind of screw to remove screws, obviously. And what I like to use is a magnetic picker-upper thing with a light. This way, if I drop something, I can pick it up easily, because I tend to drop things for whatever reason. So the first thing I'm going to do here is pull this bottom panel off. So this is a stack, a center stack, and usually how these things work is you got to work your way from the bottom up. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. The key with these panels that are clipped in is to try to avoid angles. Just, you want to pull things back straight, just like that, so you don't break anything. And that worked out perfect. Now I can get to the screws here. These are Torx. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these. Whoop, whoop, whoop. No. There we go. Got it. Almost lost that one. All right, so that is done. So now, see, that just pulls just like that. And everything is just kind of coming out now. So this is the top panel. This is the surround. I'm going to need that. Now this is in the way, but instead of unplugging things, I try to just leave things plugged in. The reason is because a lot of these units have, like, for instance, supplemental restraint airbag computers and things attached to them. And if you take a plug out of one of these, it can really mess up your airbag system, and you'll get all sorts of errors, and it could actually turn your airbag system off. So be really careful on more modern cars that you're not unplugging things you don't need to unplug, because none of this has anything to do with the head unit itself. Get that out of my way, like so. All right, so I have 2 more screws there. Honestly, this is probably one of the less complicated installations I've ever done. The Miata, the boosted Miata, I have to take out the center console and the whole stack. It's quite a job. You got to take off the gear shift. It's quite a job. So the way this works is I'm just going to pull this out right here, pull it down like that, and get access to all my wiring harnesses back here. Going to put this off to the side a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do first is go ahead and disconnect the harness from the vehicle itself. There we go. Then I'll start disconnecting all the other wires from the back of the head unit here. There we go. And that's it. The head unit is out. Now, hopefully, I'm going to take this over to the bench, and I'm going to go ahead and put the new head unit into this mount. We're going to make sure that the wiring harness is the same. If it's not, I'm going to have to do some rewiring of the harness a little bit. But hopefully it's just a plug and play situation. So let's go ahead and do this. There we go. All right. So now what I want to do is make sure that the harness is compatible. So this is showing the pin layout as if you're looking at the back of the head unit on the old one, and the new diagram is showing the pin layout as if you're looking at the harness itself. So they're reversed. So this is kind of the mirror opposite of this one. So when I look at the actual harnesses, they actually match up perfectly. So I've got the red accessory wire on the far left on the new one, and the red accessory wires on the far left on my A6 Pro, the older one. And if I just follow all the wires across, they all match up perfectly. So yeah, this is just a straight swap actually. So what I have to do next is just put this mount back on this one, and we should be good to go to put it back in the Volvo. So we're ready to install the Atoto in the Volvo. I've got it all set and ready to go. Now, I can't put the screen on just yet. It's detached. I don't have the screws in it. I'm gonna have to do that in a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the screen off and just carefully set it aside. And now we're just ready to hook up all the connections. Boom. And then put the gray speaker wires in. Boom. All right, that's all good. All right, just got to make sure all the wires are out of the way and nothing's... Very good. So now what I'm going to do, while I have it out like that, I'm going to go ahead and put the screen in the slot and just get an idea of where the screen's going to sit. And yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So the way this works is this kind of hooks on there, and then all kind of like whoop, clicky clicky. Wow. Hey. There we go. So that's done. So looking good. Looking good. Now we're going to see how this screen fits. And see if I need to adjust it. I got to say that looks pretty good. I like it's a little proud, as they say. But I think that's okay. I like the angle. I don't think it needs to tilt down. I got plenty of clearance. I can reach all my controls here. It's going to be the tricky part, getting the screws on in the back. This is where a magnetic screwdriver would come in really handy. Let me take the GoPro here. I'm just going to show you what I'm up against. You can see there that these screws have to be screwed in to get the monitor mounted, and they're really tough to get to because you just don't have the room. Just don't have the room. So there's a real high potential for strippage here, but I just gotta do the best I can. There we go. And it popped in there. Nope. We got it. Now we're in. Nope. Now we're not in. And we're in now. Well, that was a little dramatic. Getting the screws in behind the screen was a bit of a challenge. I did do it. I didn't strip anything out. I was really worried I'd strip out the screws because my angle was all wrong. I finally got them in. Everything's fine. And as it turns out, I really could have left the screen on the head unit and had it screwed in if I really wanted to. I could have worked around it, but there's a chance you could damage the screen. And in the instructions, they say to put the screen on after you install the head unit into your vehicle. So I was just going by the directions, but I definitely think I could have worked around it. And when I have to pull this out, I'm definitely going to leave the screen on and work around it. I'll just cover it with something to protect it because I'm not going through that again. So let's go ahead and turn on the power and get this thing to boot up. And there it is. Looking good. Fantastic. Now let's go and check out some music. Wow, that actually sounds really good. This definitely is an upgrade over the previous Atoto. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but they're both rated power-wise. I believe they're both rated the same. It could be the DSP, the digital signal processor that this one has that the previous model didn't have. But boy, it sounds really clear and really sharp. Let's go into YouTube really quick. Everybody, Sean here, Boosted Miata, and this is a brand new Atoto S8 Premium 10-inch double-din
Looks good.
Android in-car entertainment system. Whew, that's a mouthful. It's brand new from
720p, which this screen isn't really a 720p screen. It's 1024 by 600, so 600p, but you can stream a 720 stream on there, and it looks really good. Fantastic. It sounds great. It looks good. I'm pleased so far. Installation successful. This is definitely an upgrade over my previous unit. It's definitely quicker. It just feels snappier. The screen is sharper, bigger, which is great. I like it. I think this is definitely an upgrade worth doing for me. And so far, so good. I'll have to drive around with it to get a better feel for it, but I like it. So that's it. That's my review of this Atoto S8 premium head unit with the 10-inch screen. Let me know what you think. Do you like it? Would you get one? Have any questions? Leave a comment down below. Be happy to answer it. But that's it for now. And as always, thanks for watching.